Hey chaps, I'm another British Gamer, or and if you prefer, and welcome back to another tutorial on this war of mine. Now today we are going to be focusing on the custom characters part of the game. The part of the game where you can make your own characters, upload your portraits, and then start a game with them. So I'm going to show you every single step from choosing what occupation to give them, which traits that gives them, and right up to putting the portraits onto your computer so that you can then have them as the pictures in your game, if you want to put yourself on, for example. Okay, so the first thing you'll have to do is when you get confronted with this main menu here, like you do it every time you start the game, is you have to click on the Write My Own Story, because custom characters can only appear in your own story. And now you'll be confronted with this screen where you have all of the normal characters in the game. So if I just quickly scroll through them, you've got all of the regular ones, then you've got all of the new ones with the new update. The new little ones expansion. And then if you keep going, you've got the ones I created myself. I'll show you how to do that, and there are some workshop ones as well that I've got. Anyway, the way you start making your own new citizen would be to click Define New Civilian. Define New Civilian. So good. So here you can type in your name, or whatever name the character wants to be. I'm going to go for myself, so let's go for douche. Perfect, there we go. And then you've got gender, so obviously pick male or female. And now we've got this here, the occupation part. You can have police officer, computer specialist, forester, pharmacist, insurance agent, photographer, and psychologist. Now, I will go quickly through what each of these ones do and how they are useful for you. These are all quite useful skills to have, but some are obviously more useful than others. Okay, the first one, police officer. I should stress quickly, before I start going through each individual one, that all of these characters, all the custom characters you can make, will carry 12 items when they go out scavenging. So they have an inventory of 12, and they don't have any addictions whatsoever. So just so you're aware, those are the normal stats that you need to be thinking about. Anyway, let's go for the more specifics on each character. The police officer, and you can read the bio beneath it here, so if you want to pause the video at each point, you can then do that. Anyway, so the first one, police officer, has got the ability which is familiar with guns. And now this is an alright ability if you plan on going full out offensive. However, if you're not planning on going full out offensive, it can be a bit of a detriment, because the only thing he gets really is a quicker reload with guns. So sure, that's fine when you're fighting, but otherwise it's not particularly useful, but you can do that as it's a very offensive character. The next one, which is computer specialist, is kind of an obvious one, that he is the guy that if you have in your team, you will need less electrical parts to do anything electrical. So the electric door, all of those electric parts for the different workshops, all of that requires less, and to be specific, it needs 40% less parts. And that means every time you needed 4 parts, you'd need 3, and stuff like that. I think every time if you needed 5, you'd need 3 as well. Stuff like that just lowers it down a bit. Bit like Marin, but not quite as good. Okay, and next, forester. Now this one, you get the skilled woodchopper trait, which is literally when you get a hatchet and start chopping up your wood in all the furniture in your house, then you can just get more wood from it, really. That's all you really get. There's nothing really more to explain about that. He doesn't get any combat ability with the axe. At least no one's noticed one yet. This is all what people have noticed, by the way, because there is only a fan-made wiki for this, but this is the best knowledge we have so far. Next is the pharmacist, which is similar to the computer specialist in that when they have their particular thing, which in the pharmacist's case is medicine, they need less parts, I suppose. For the pharmacist, they need less parts and they need less herbs in order to do it properly. So they are very, very useful for late game stuff, because that means, because you normally need 2 med parts to make proper meds, you now only need 1, so you double your outtake pretty much. So they're pretty good to have in your team. Okay, so the next one I'm going to go for is the insurance agent. Now the insurance agent has got the trait which is persuasive. And there is a trade boost there from this persuasiveness, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Catcher. So if I was you, I would think of having Catcher instead, because she, as the skilled bargainer, is probably a lot better than having an insurance agent in your team. Because besides that, they're not very strong. I don't think they're particularly good at fighting. I will go through all of these in the combat tutorial I'm going to do in the future about how good they are at fighting. Next we also have the photographer, whose trait is keen eye for detail. Now this is a particularly weird one, because it has known to glitch out a bit, but the idea of the keen eye for detail is that you can see the hidden stashes in like locations where you're scavenging. For example, when you are going to the homeless man at the decrepit squat, you'll be able to see his hidden stash without giving him any food. And also, I think maybe at the school you can find a stash behind the fridge without reading about it. So just little things like that, which, in all honesty, would save you one piece of food. So it's not the best. In all honesty, I would say that's the worst of all the options you have. So yeah, think about photographer if you want one very carefully. And finally we have the psychologist, who is actually an okay choice. The psychologist is got the trait strong-willed, and it's very similar to Zlata in the way that she has got an improved chance of cheering up people, like getting people from depressed to sad, from sad upwards. So it's just kind of a bolstered spirit kind of thing, just making people happy. So that's what they each do in turn. I think that's what I need to go through with them. Now the final two things you can choose are the portrait, which I will show you in a minute, the portraits folder, and then you've also got the physique. The physique, if you guys scroll through them, they're just different people, what they look like. If I go to female for a second, you can have the... Apparently you can have a checkerboard on your team, I didn't know that one. But then there are some really odd ones here. Don't know why the checkerboard thing's happening, but anyway, here you go. You get all these people. And now the portrait, if I scroll through them, you have some of these ones which are already there, in all honesty. See? These are the ones that are already given. And then you have all of your original ones yourself. So you could just choose one of these ones if you wanted. But now I'm quickly going to go on to explaining what to do for each of... what to do to upload your portraits. And I'll have a little bit at the start to skip to here. So hello if you've just skipped to how to upload your portraits. See you in a sec when I get there. Alright, so now I'm quickly going to walk you through how to get to the folder in order to place your portraits in order to get them into your game. So as soon as you put the portraits in this folder and then obviously exit the folder, that will then appear in your game, so you can just choose among them like I showed you when I went through all of the possible portraits I had. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your main documents and go far back as you can to this PC. And this is all Windows, by the way. Sorry if you're on a Mac, I don't know entirely how to do it on a Mac. I've only done it on a PC before, so yeah. So then you go to your devices and drives, and you'll find that there is one drive which has got a lot more in it. It's the main drive that you use on your computer, really. And then you just click on that one. It's normally the one with the most, just choose that one. Then, next you want to go to the Programs Files x86. Mainly because this is where all your Steam files are automatically stored. You don't choose they're there, they just are. And then when you're in that folder, go to Steam, which will be down the list somewhere. Then when you're inside that folder, go to Steam Apps. Not Steam again, Steam Apps. Now that's one common mistake people do and then can't find it, but there we go. Next one, you want to go to Common, and then you'll find a list of all the games you own on Steam. And so you want to go down to This War of Mine, obviously, for This War of Mine stuff. And then when you're in there, you'll find the Portraits folder. So once you just click on that, and then you get to the thing, as you'll see in my folder, I do have some stuff here already. But if you want to start for the first time, you'll find this folder empty, and you just need to click and drag JPEGs into this folder, and they will immediately stretch it to the right size, I believe. Well, yeah. They'll try and stretch it to the shape, which is why you probably want to go for headshots, whereas I've gone for pictures of them. And you saw that a few of the ones I showed you were a bit, like, squidged up, so yeah. You may want to just go for faces like I've got on the first picture there. But anyway, I hope that's straightforward enough. If you want to find pictures, just take your own photo or put it, you can find anything online. All of these pictures I found online. I'm not sure if they're copyrighted, but I hope they don't get picked up. Anyway, I hope that's helped you decide what they are. I'll go through all of these characters as well when I go through the combat of every character, which I'm doing in probably the next tutorial actually. But anyway, at the moment, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this tutorial and learned something, then be sure to like, to comment and to subscribe for more of them, and let me know what else you want to learn about This War of Mine. Thank you very much, and see you next time.